Good evening. We're going to call the CRA board meeting to order on November the 10th at 6:30. We'll begin tonight's meeting with an invocation by board member Mac McRae, and I will lead us in the pledge, if you please stand.
Let us bow to the creator maker of all mankind. Heavenly Father, we come before thee in the humblest manner that we know how. We first come recognizing that thou art our creator, and besides thee there is none other. As we partake in this meeting tonight, we ask that you would lead us and guide us and make decisions that is better for the city of Boynton. As we celebrate Memorial Day on tomorrow, we just want to say thank you for those veterans who have given their lives, take care of their families, and for those that are still fighting, continue to bless them and hold them in the hollow of your hand. We forever give you your praise, why? Because you're worthy. In your name we pray. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have roll call, please. Here.
Here. Here.
Here.
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda approval, any additions, deletions, or corrections to the agenda? Hearing none, is there a motion to
So
approve the
moved.
agenda as presented? Is there a motion second? Any discussion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Show the motion unanimous. Informational items and disclosures by board members and CRA staff. We'll start with Board Member McRae tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I made all of mine the other night at commission meeting, but I'd just like to say that in regards to Pirate Fest from Ocean Avenue crossing Seacrest Boulevard, I spoke with both Lori Lavery and the chief and also Vivian Brooks in regards to we got to make it safer for the pedestrians to make that cross. That's all I need to say tonight, sir. Thank you.
Commissioner Merker.
I pass.
Vice Mayor, or Board Member Casello.
Nothing to disclose, but I'd just like to say happy birthday to all the Marines out there and to all our veterans. Thank you for your service to our country. Also, I'd like to compliment the CRA director on a great job at Pirate Fest and Ocean Ave and how wonderful it's looking all lit up, and job well done.
Fitzpatrick?
I met with Bonnie Miskell in regard to the property at Boynton, used to be Old Bank of America building.
Okay, and I also met with the owner of the property and showing me some plans, so. Mayor Merker.
I'm sorry. I also met with Bonnie Miskell on Friday.
I also met as well.
Yeah, I didn't meet, I met with Davey Camilleri, but that's the same thing, we all the same
Yep.
project. Okay, informational, anything else anybody want to talk about? No? Okay. Announcements and awards, appreciation of independent board members for their service. I'll turn this over to the CRA director.
If I could have Mr. Buck Buchanan, Mr. Woodrow Hay come up. You guys are looking spiffy. I want to thank you very much for your service to your community, for helping the citizens of Boynton Beach, and helping the advisory or the CRA board make a lot of wonderful decisions during your time and moving the progress of the CRA forward. You were both very instrumental in that, and I want to appreciate everyone's tell you we all appreciate what you've done. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Vivian. It's been a pleasure working with you and your outstanding staff and serving the people of Boynton. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
I ditto what Buck said, and just want to say thank you for your staff and you yourself and all the great work that you've done for Boynton Beach and the citizens. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
If I may, I'd like to say something.
Go ahead.
I'm confused. I call it an oxymoron. I don't understand, and Mr. Woodrow Hay and Mr. Buck Buchanan, I've asked, this is the third or fourth time I asked, what did you do wrong? Why would Mr. Woodrow Hay and Mr. Buck Buchanan be taken off a board which everyone here just applauded? So I'm confused. What did you do wrong? It's mind-boggling to me because obviously you did nothing wrong. And unfortunately for the city of Boynton Beach, political reasons, Mr. Woodrow Hay, I'm sorry, Mr. Hay, I should say Commissioner and Mayor Woodrow Hay, I apologize, and Mr. Buck Buchanan, by the way, an engineer, he knows a little, was taken off a board, and I raised the question for the last time, because your term, neither term, was up. So the question I ask of my fellow board members, what did these two people do wrong when their term wasn't up? And lo and behold, they received a plaque by the CRA praising them and applauding them. I'm confused.
Mr. Mayor, if I may add?
Yes, go ahead.
Just for the record, these two outstanding gentlemen have done nothing wrong. They're two outstanding citizens, and we appreciate their hard work and effort that they put on as members of the CRA board, and I'd like to thank them personally.
And then why were they dismissed?
Well, I will also say you're the only one that's bringing up that somebody did something wrong. We never said either one of them did anything wrong. They served in an outstanding manner. It was just the fact that the board decided to change the policy on how the board would be constituted, and that's what brought that about. So they served honorably and deserve all the credit we can give them, and I want to personally thank them also.
I'd like to say one more thing. On an intellectual basis, the words of the is smoke. If you did well and you have quality people, why would you change the board?
Chair, point
That's
of order,
all
please.
I'm
Point of
saying,
order.
or asking.
Yes. Okay, anything else? No. Okay, we'll go to movies in the park, the recap. Thank you.
Good evening. Christopher Burdick, CRA Special Events Coordinator. Sorry.
I haven't had a chance to publicly thank Christopher, Renee Roberts, Tracy Smith Kofi for all their hard work on Pirates Fest. It was the most amazing event I've been to in the city of Boynton Beach, drawing a lot of new people that have never been here. We got feedback. We did a questionnaire to our businesses that participated, and I will tell you, they were ecstatic. So I want to thank my staff very much for that.
Thank you. Much appreciated. We just recently had another Movies in the Park on November 6th, and it was Back to the Future, and it was a really amazing success. I think we'll stick with the classic 80s movies for at least this season. We had about 300 people. As always, guests are encouraged to bring their beach chairs and blankets. We increased the size of the screen this year from 16 feet by 9 feet to 20 foot by 11 feet, and it's a huge improvement. It doesn't look like a television anymore. It looks like a real movie screen. The weather was a little warm, but we still had a great attendance. As always, there's food, snacks, and beverages available from vendors. And we always encourage our local businesses to participate. We offer them a free commercial that we shoot and then show at the event before the movie. And they provide us with gift certificates, which we do a drawing for at the end of the film. The next movie is scheduled for January because of our holiday tree lighting. So on January 1st, we're going to have Gremlins, and the movies after that are Footloose, E.T., Ghostbusters, Labyrinth, and Beetlejuice. So hopefully that'll go really well.
Thank you. Music on the Rocks.
Music on the Rocks, yes. The next Music on the Rocks is November 20th, and we are bringing back Making Faces because we got rained out at our last Music on the Rocks, so they're joining us again. And we are partnered with the Food Truck Invasion. There'll be about 6 to 7 food trucks. We had really great turnout last week of the food trucks anyway. People were very disappointed that we didn't get to go through with it. And then the next Music on the Rocks after that is December 18th, and we are waiting for confirmation on a band still for that date.
Great. Holiday tree lighting in concert.
Yep. On Friday, December 4th, the Boynton Beach CRA is hosting the 45th Annual Holiday Tree Lighting and Concert at the Ocean Avenue Amphitheater. The festivities start at 5:30 p.m. and continue until 10. The holiday tree has a prominent location in front of the Schoolhouse Children's Museum at 129 East Ocean Avenue, just east of Seacrest. We are closing East Ocean Avenue from the west of the Schoolhouse Children's Museum to east of the intersection of Ocean and First Street to accommodate vendors. We're looking for a great turnout of vendors this year after Pirate Fest. The tree lighting will take place at 6:30, and immediately following the tree lighting, there will be a free concert featuring Solid Brass, and they're going to be performing until 10 p.m. There'll be food and beverages, as always, available for purchase from our local vendors. And Santa and his elves will invite guests to the Gumdrop Garden for a photo opportunity and a candy cane. So I hope to see everyone there.
Great, great. Then the holiday boat parade is next, I guess.
On Friday, December 11th, the Boynton Beach CRA and the City of Boynton Beach will present the 44th Annual Boynton Beach Holiday Boat Parade. The parade will start at 6:30 p.m. and travel south from Lantana Bridge to the George Bush Bridge. There's a free public viewing area all along the route at the Intercoastal Park and also especially the Boynton Beach Harbor Marina. The festivities will take place on the Boynton Harbor Marina property with a visit from Santa Claus again. There'll be children's activities and crafts, food and drink provided by Two Georges. Holiday music will be provided by a jazz band, Route Blue, who appeared at Pirate Fest, so they're going to be back. Guests are encouraged to bring new unwrapped toys to donate to the Toys for Tots representative on site with members of the U.S. Marine Corps. Parking is available on site at the parking garage on the northeast corner of North Federal Highway and East Ocean Avenue, as well as through the valet service provided through Two Georges. There's going to be a follow-up happy hour awards for the captains at Two Georges in early January, and the winners will receive their plaques and checks. There will be an event video available for viewing on the CRA Events YouTube channel, and event pictures will be made available for viewing on the Boynton Beach CRA social media outlets and website.
Super.
Thank you.
Any questions?
I have just one comment on movies in the park. I believe one of the movies they showed several years ago was The Commitments, and it was part of a trilogy. So I was just wondering, may I consider doing the other two?
I'll have to check into the first one.
80s movie. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Chair.
This is to the Director, Vivian. That holiday boat parade, I know there was some controversy last year about it going past Boynton Beach down into Delray. Has that all been straightened out?
We reached out to Delray again this year through the Parks and Rec Director, and we haven't gotten anything back. My concern, as I explained last year, was we're really, extending our event and cost into Delray, another city, never mind, not the CRA, it's a whole nother city. So we had a commitment last year to help offset the cost from Delray, from Mr. Bright, but that never came through.
So he gave us nothing, and he promised us the kitchen sink.
Gave us nothing.
That's right.
Okay.
Very honorable man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One
Mr.
other, one other announcement I'd like to add, which I didn't see it here, but in case you're interested, if you've been driving down Federal Highway, you see there's a little ice cream store that's getting ready to open. It says coming soon. And this Friday at 3 o'clock, this Friday will be a grand opening of the ice cream parlor. So you might want to check it out. It looks really, they've done a great job. It looks really nice out there. It's really pretty. So you might want to go by and get you a cone or whatever else they got to serve
Very,
there.
very good ice cream. Amazing.
Okay. Commissioner, Board Member McRae, you had something?
Thank you, Chair. Yes, Council is absent tonight. Tara, I think that for the public record, we need to just introduce who's sitting with us tonight.
Ken Dodge with Lewis, Longman, and Walker.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we actually approved the consent agenda, and nobody pulled anything. Anybody have any questions on that? Seeing none. So all the items on the consent agenda, if you're out there for it, they've been approved. They'll take us to information-only marketing and business development campaign. Do you want to talk about that, Vivian?
We usually put that in the backup. Tracy, do you want to come and talk about your marketing and business campaign? He says, no, I don't, no.
Nothing? Just whatever's in the backup? No.
Yeah, there is in the backup,
Yeah.
yeah.
Staff, we receive backup. The public does not receive backup.
Right.
That's the only reason we ask you to come
I
and
don't have
present,
anything.
please.
Basically, what she's doing is she's doing outreach for all the holiday events now through the neighborhood news and utility insert. Street signs are going to be putting up new banners, taking out the Pirate Fest banners off the streets and putting new holiday banners. We are going to get holiday banners this year, yay. Creating postcards to be mailed out and posters that'll be placed in our area businesses. And so we're going to be talking, and all the street signs already went up for holiday.
Yes, the street, Tracy Smith Coffee, Marketing and Business Development Specialist. The street signs have gone up for holiday. The pirate banners will be coming down on Thursday and being replaced with the holiday banners on Boynton Beach Boulevard and Ocean Avenue. So we're working on that.
Tracy, while you're up there, I have one question. Are we doing anything on MLK Boulevard? I did not write down the other day. I'm just saying in regards to banners, will we be putting anything up in regards to the holiday?
For the holiday on
MLK?
Seacrest?
No, MLK Boulevard.
Oh, MLK. I haven't really assessed the streets lights there. I can do that this week and see what we can come up with.
Please, because I'm just saying the citizens over there, when they don't receive anything, they feel neglected and they call me. I'm just trying to stop phone
Okay,
calls.
yeah, I'll
Thank
definitely
you.
check into it. Right now, I am working on, other than holiday, and we're partnering with the city with the holiday parade for the marketing, as well as the holiday boat parade, which is coming up. I'm also working on the MLK event and getting that information out. We'll be doing posters, postcards, an ad in the Palm Beach Post Things to Do, a digital ad for that. So we're working on that for January. And let's see.
In regards to working on that MLK event, you're partnering with them. I just want to know, how is everything going?
Everything's good.
Okay.
We're really excited. The graphics turned out really nice, modern, and we're looking to invite the whole community of Boynton Beach, as well as Palm Beach County, people to come to Boynton Beach from all over Palm Beach County, so that I'm marketing and other ways to get the word out for that event, which is it's a 3-week series. So we have the parade, then we have the celebration of unity, and then they have the gala, and then the day of service.
I'm going to ask that you all keep me in the loop, because I'm just saying when things start breaking down, they call me and say, they promised and then did not. But if you and the director could keep me in the loop, I could stay abreast on what is going on. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, that takes us to public comments. Anybody in the public wish to address the commission items not on the agenda may do so at this time. Ask to give your name and address for the record, and try to limit your comments to 3 minutes.
Good evening, David Katz, 67 Midwood Lane, our fair city. Last month, members of this honorable board, as well as CRA staff, traveled to Tampa at taxpayer expense to attend the FRA conference. In February of this year, an independent and thorough investigation concluded that Mr. Merker had behaved inappropriately towards CRA staff and had in fact touched Vivian Brooks inappropriately, and that his behavior was at best off-putting and at worst harassing. This investigation cost the taxpayers thousands of dollars. I need to really tug on the loose ends of your imagination. Who do you think Miss Brooks gave a ride to Tampa to, rode in her car with her for what is about a 4 to 5 hour trip, with no other passengers? The same person she accused of harassment, Mr. Merker. I personally never questioned the veracity of her accusation about Mr. Merker's behavior or the findings of the investigation. Now, with this latest revelation and looking back on how the city's image, was dragged through the morass of an elected official's salacious behavior and the taxpayer dollars spent to investigate the behavior, I wonder if the accusation presented by Ms. Brooks was in fact overstated. If her accusation was true, then her decision to allow Mr. Merker to ride with her shows a severe lack of judgment, which is incurable. Conversely, if her accusation was not true, Ms. Brooks needs to reimburse the taxpayers the full cost of the investigation and resign. In regards to Mr. Merker, his having the temerity to ask Ms. Brooks for the ride to Tampa and to put her in such an uncomfortable position shows again he has no filter and lacks any modicum of good judgment. The city of Boynton Beach doesn't need Mr. Merker to be mayor any more than France needs a museum on military retreat. Thank you.
Good evening.
Hi, my name's Harry Woodworth. I live at 685 Northeast 15th Place. I was going to speak on an issue that the CRA did something really nice along Federal Highway, but frankly, I'm so damn disgusted right now, I'm leaving. Good night.
Good night. Seeing something was mentioned about the Tampa. I meant to comment on it. We did attend that Florida CRA conference over there, and I just tell you, there were some tremendous sessions held. And what I was really impressed by was there were cities from all over the state were there with their CRAs, and they talked about what they were doing in their development processes. And it turns out that they're doing exactly what we've been doing here for a long time. So I kind of felt like we were on the cutting edge here. And they did that, and they discussed too about how they bought lands that were beaten down or in disrepair and purchased them. And then actually, when the developers came in and developed something good on that site, they ended up giving them the land as their input to get it started. So I know we've kind of, here sometimes it's been like, oh my God, we're giving that land away? Well, I can tell you that's what CRAs do all over the state. And they just came out over and over again. And so there were some really good discussions on different things, how CRAs operated and what they should do. And if you couldn't have made it this time, I sure encourage anybody to go to it next time. It was really great. So thank you. Good evening.
Noyer, 140 Southeast 27th Way, Boynton Beach. I wanted to say thank you to Vivian and the CRA for putting up such beautiful lighting along Ocean Avenue. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Thank you. And I look forward to when you are able to adjust the colors so we can properly celebrate October as Breast Cancer Awareness Month with pink and Lupus Awareness Month with purple. And keep on this path. It's a great one. And thank you very much, Vivian.
Thank you.
Dr. James Dvorsny, 2625 Lake Drive North, Boynton Beach, Florida. Board members, it's really disturbing to sit out here in the audience and watch our fellow board members get attacked. And as chairman, I would implore you to get better control of the meeting. Harry Woodworth, I've known Harry now for a while. He's doing his best for the city of Boynton Beach as a citizen, volunteering his time. I mean, we must meet countless times a week, email, phone conversations, and for you to just say goodbye when he is trying his best out there, it's just deplorable. And to have the chairman here of Planning and Development come up and attack again, Mayor, please get control of this. Thank you.
Well, while you're there, let me address that for you. This is public comment, and then the public can get up and say anything they want. That's what this is all about. It's an open forum, and I try to be open to you, let you, like I'm doing to you, let you say whatever you want, and that's what it's supposed to be, a public input. So I don't control what people say, So I don't know, and I didn't mean to offend him by saying good night. He said good night, and I said good night back. It's all. I didn't mean to offend him. I think he does a great job. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to address the board? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing, public comments, and go to old business. Presentation of recap of the 4th annual Haunted Pirates and Mermaid Splash event.
This is for those of you who weren't there and missed it.
I was there, but I think I missed it. Go ahead.
No more slushes for you.
We're going to start the presentation with a video shot by our own Charlie Crawford. No, thank you. I thought I just had to push this line.
Everybody put your hands together again for all of our mermaids.
Sorry, Robert Telford. My brain is a little slow today. There we go. So this year, I've got to say, we were really only expecting about 15 to, we had 18,000 people last year. We were actually expecting about 30. So with amazing marketing by Tracy Smith Coffee and all of our hard work, we got 60,000, possibly more, but that's what we're estimating at this point is 60,000 people attended.
Okay, stay right there. Can you tell me how do y'all estimate, because people are constantly moving?
You can pick areas and count within a certain area and then multiply that by the area of the event. It's a loose figure, but it tends to work for most events, especially when they're within a specific space.
I wasn't moving, so it's 60,001.
I saw you moving later in the night. 46% of the attendees were ages 35 to 54. 67% of those attendees were first-timers, and 20% attended both days. 63 of the attendees came with children, and 86 were from outside the city of Boynton Beach. 72% of the attendees planned on visiting a local business before or after the event. Of 93 of those planned to spend $50 or more at those businesses. The overall estimated economic impact within Boynton Beach is $1.4 million. 30% of the attendees heard about the event through social media, 24% heard about it through word of mouth, and 18% saw it on a banner or poster. 90% of guests rated the entertainment as good or excellent. 92% of attendees rated the overall experience as good or excellent. And we want to thank you to all of those who made the 4th annual Boynton Beach Haunted Pirate Fest and Mermaid Splash a record-breaking success.
I also want to give a shout out to city staff. Mike Taylor from the city
he was amazing.
Invaluable. The cleanup crew. We had so much help from city staff, so it takes a village to make this happen.
Yeah, we want to thank the city and the CRA staff. Tremendous job and great event in Boynton Beach.
Next year, are we going to 3 days?
Trying to kill us?
Okay, that takes us to CRA project update on East Ocean Avenue lighting project.
Mike is out sick today. I just want to bring you up to date. The project is complete. It is operational. We will be changing the colors very soon to be green and red along the avenue in honor of Christmas, which I'd like to get through Thanksgiving first, but apparently that's not going to happen. We put new streetlights in, new tree lighting, and uplighting in the tree grates. We replaced the tree grates with kind of a foam substance that allows water to trickle through, and same with fertilizer. So, and also we now have irrigation on all the trees. So it was a multi-level layered project that was probably the most complicated project that we've done, even though it sounded so easy when I thought of it. It was just so easy, but it really wasn't easy. And we did come in a little bit under what the project budget total was. So we're very proud of that project. And I think it really is leading towards helping us make Town Square a reality by improving that area.
Board Member Costello?
Yes, Vivian, what's the spectrum of lighting, the different colors? Like Ms. Hoyo said earlier, is there something that we can, like breast cancer, like pink, and we can actually do that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. We're going to change it. In fact, Mike Taylor from the city is going to go out and change it for red and green every other tree. So it'll be holiday-ish when you look down there. And any other month, and there's a lot of different causes, but we could probably have to pick one that we could leave for the month. So, like breast cancer awareness.
Okay. We'll get an update on the Marina Open Space Project.
We are moving forward that the building structure is down except for the pad because we're not ready to put, are you ready? So you can do that.
You want water, Lori?
You want some water?
I know CPR.
We can hit you.
Captain Kelly's here.
Yeah, I know how to bury you too, so no, either way.
We got you covered.
Complete service.
We got you covered.
The demolition of the building was the first phase of this, which is actually part of a much larger phase of the entire marina redevelopment, which is on page 209. You can see the approved plan there that really deals with the marina from an entirety. It's not just one piece here, one piece there. However, we couldn't finance it all together, so what we decided to do is pay as we go, which is what we've done. And this is the last piece in tying it together from a pedestrian point of view and even a driver point of view. It's going to be a little easier to navigate through that area. So that project, we are not going to start until summer because we don't want to interrupt our businesses during season. We've got a very strong season ahead of us, I believe, based on what I'm hearing. So we don't want to interfere with their businesses and interrupt them again. They've had a lot of interruptions. So we will work towards getting all that ready to put out and start construction in the summer. So.
Okay. Any questions? Okay. Consideration of the Neighborhood Officer Policing Program.
Thank you. This is based on our August budget meeting when we discussed this program, and the board approved $200,000 for this. We also secured a location for the program at 404 East MLK Boulevard. Between Chief Katz and I, we created a program, and there is a mistake on the front page, excuse me, where really the goal of this is to reach out to the community and make a stronger bond between the officers, then the police department, and the community members, so that they are now become partners in solving the problems within the community. So that's the idea. It is not to bring in an armored car and go after everybody, but trying to be a presence and a technical resource for community groups of how to solve some of these issues. And they will, this program will run for a year. And if you look in the back, we basically talk about what's community-oriented policing, what's the purpose of it, what we are going to want this out of this program, monthly meetings with Heart of Boynton members, getting stakeholders to identify top 5 priorities for this program, trying to get a core group of the neighborhood to be more participatory with the police department so that they can each be resources for each other. So we will be getting, under this, we'll be getting a quarterly report of the activities that have occurred and the crime stats. So we'll have an understanding of how to tweak the program if we want to go forward. So,
Any questions?
Yes, Vivian, you said this is going to be for 1 year. After the 1 year, will it be reevaluated, or are we just going to do it just for 1 year and stop?
I don't think we're going to do it for 1 year. I would hope not. My goal is to, if we get development on MLK, as we are trying to do right now, let this program run. This is sort of the trial balloon, and if we like it and we feel like we're making some headway, we would refund it for next year as well. So I'm not saying just 1 year. I don't think that makes sense. We'd have to see how it works.
Right, because, see, we have a contract on the building for 3 years, so
Right.
I'm just trying to see, you know.
I
could
think
we-
you have to give anything more than a year chance typically.
Okay, are they going to be foot patrol, bike, or will they be getting those things like they have in Fort Lauderdale I talked about?
We just gave pricing to them on models and stuff for the Segways.
Oh, Segways,
They
okay,
actually
yes.
make a police-type Segway. So we're looking at maybe purchasing one of those. And because we do not want them driving, we want them walking, talking, interacting with the residents so that they have there's a trust being built between the residents and the officers. So within this program, it says they must patrol on foot, bicycle, or Segway, if you wish. So we'll see. I think the Segway is a great idea. The kids will be attracted to it. It'll create a nice relationship between the officers and the children, so because they'll come up and want to see it. And so you want to get that dialogue going between the two groups.
Okay, I know it's going to be on MLK Boulevard. This is going to be the last one. Will they be going from Railroad all the way to Sarah Sims, or what's the length? Just to
They can go the entire length of MLK, or they can meet with neighborhood groups within the heart of Boynton to address some of their concerns at their neighborhood meetings. So I'm not limiting it just to MLK, but if they have a night meeting with a neighborhood group, I think that's fine. They can hold the meeting there if there's not a lot of people in the office. It's fairly large. It's not real large, but it could.
Right. MLK is good, but I'm just saying if we can go all the way down past Sarah Sims, this
Oh,
is
I
where.
agree. Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
That's my only
We
comment.
got problems there.
Thank you.
Mr. Costello?
I would like to just.
I'll get you in a minute.
I
Costello?
would just like to
Would you wait a
applaud
minute?
you
Would you wait a
for
minute?
what you're doing.
Costello, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chair. Vivian, I know in some of the early discussions, we talked about having computer terminals in there for people to come in to look up to use the internet for job searches, and for even the children in the neighborhood to come in and use some of the terminals, maybe for homework or whatever, to explore the internet. Is that still part of the plan?
That's what Lieutenant Deal and I have discussed, and right now we're working on getting what our IT needs are in there. So I know Teresa's working with someone from the police department on that. So.
Board Member Merker?
Yeah, I'd just like to say what I was saying. I'd like to applaud you for this. What you're doing is bringing all people together, creating an atmosphere of friendship and understanding, let alone learning. I applaud you for this attempt and the success of it.
Anyone else? Fitzpatrick?
What was the error on the cover page?
It's a typo on the front page of the program.
I think I found one.
Yeah.
It's unclear.
Yeah.
The one I'm looking at says $200 to be paid quarterly. Shouldn't that be like $200 to be paid $50,000 quarterly?
Yes. And it says agendy instead of agenda.
Okay. I didn't
Agency,
see
I
that.
mean. Yeah, I don't know why that didn't get picked up, because as far as I know, that's not a word, but.
Well,
Thank you.
yeah, but so it's $50,000 quarterly.
Yes, they'll bill us quarterly, and they'll have to give us a report. We've done this in the past, and so it's kind of similar what we did in the past.
Okay. Consideration of the interlocal agreement and resolution between the City of Boynton Beach and the CRA for the Neighborhood Officer Policing Program.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Show the motion is unanimous. Consideration of interlocal agreement between the City of Boynton Beach and the CRA for maintenance of the north entry signage area. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Show the motion unanimous. New business, discussion regarding the staffing of fiscal impacts of CRA Advisory Board. Vivian?
Thank you, Chair. When the board voted to create a 7-member CRA Advisory Board, Susan Harris and I were talking about what will we need to do to accommodate this, both from the board side and then from staffing side. So we went through, and there's a budget on the next page, proposed budget. And it, of course, is not funded. We have given you some options if you want to go forward with it. But we do believe, and I wanted to add another staff person this fiscal year, but I held off, pushing staff as hard as I can, so they don't lose their minds, though, and quit. But so one other person would be needed, because we will have to produce this board packet, not just for you, but we have to produce it for 7 other people prior to this meeting. So essentially, it's preparing for 2 meetings a month, and then all the email and the jump drives and all the things that we provide to you, we'll be providing to them. And we'll also, in many cases, have to provide laptops, because many people don't have them. So, so this is a budget basically that we had from before, that we revised, but the line items are essentially the same. So there is an impact on staff, I will tell you that right now. There's nothing, I don't know who's going to pick this up. I don't know who's going to be able to take on this extra work.
Comment? McCray?
Thank you, sir. Vivian, this question is for you. The last time we had the 7-member, advisory board, how many staff members did we have at that time?
When we had the independent board, 11.
How many we have now?
8.
So we know that there is a need. So I'm just saying, I want the public to know, just because we said we was going to a 7-member advisory board, this is not something that, we overburden, the CRA with funding. We have the monies there. We had it before. We had 11 employees. Now we're down to 8, so one more be 9. So we're still, we don't all the way up when we had 11.
Yes, Costello?
Vivian, would this cost be the same if this is an advisory board? If this was an independent board, would this cost still be relative? No. Why would it be different?
Because the independent board would be basically you plus 2, so we only have 1 meeting a month. Now you're talking about 2 meetings a month to prepare for and get all the data together.
Okay, but getting data together, whether you send it out to 5 of us or 12 people, the data is the data. Why? I don't see that extra cost as far as sending out the data. Well, it's just an email address.
Let me explain.
Okay.
The advisory board is going, if it's really going to be an advisory board, it's going to meet prior to your meeting. So in other words, we have to start right after the last CRA board meeting preparing the packet for the advisory board. But when we leave this meeting tomorrow, well, not tomorrow, but Thursday, there's a whole bunch of items that actually action items off this agenda that staff has to accomplish. This is all ideas and programs that now have to be implemented by finance and marketing and all that. But now you add we got to immediately hit the ground running, preparing the meeting for the advisory board. Then 2 weeks later, the meeting with the board itself. So you can see the timing is basically having 2 meetings a month, which the city does, but the city has a much larger staff than we do.
Okay, I see some cost here for cell phones. Is that, we give cell phones to, are we going to give cell
We have
phones?
in the past, we don't have to. I just put it in there because we've done it in the past.
Did the past 2 members, the civilians on, did they have cell phones?
No, they didn't. But, Buck did, but he never used it.
Okay, so that's something that,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't see giving out 7 cell phones.
But there is insurance for public officials that we have to add that and pay for it. Probably laptops, I'm guessing, so they'd be compatible.
This is something that's just like a rough draft right here. This is going to be something that's going to be fine-tuned.
It's a pretty good idea, it's not, I don't think it's real off, except for the cell phone part, if you don't want to do that. We have to do meeting minutes.
Well, my suggestion, and this is just personal here, as far as laptop computers, probably 95% of the people here have laptops. That's something that could be asked if
Yeah.
they'd like to borrow,
Right. we
have
don't
one for the
know.
city.
We don't know who's going to be
Right,
here.
but a cell phone, I'm not in favor of giving cell phones out.
I'm just giving you what we did before.
Yep.
When we had the independent board,
Mhm.
so that's just.
And the independent board, you gave, everyone had a CRA?
Everyone, some people chose it and some people didn't. It was really
Option.
an option for them.
Well, I guess my question here is, we're not appointing a board, we're appointing a committee. Is that correct?
The advisory board,
An advisory committee, not an advisory board.
Committee.
That's we're the board.
Okay.
We're the board. We're not establishing another
Okay.
board. We're establishing a committee.
Right.
And we have other committees in the city, and we don't furnish any other committees computers, or anything like that. That's part of, when they come here to the meeting, if they have a meeting, they have, just like we do, they're available for us. But you got to treat them just like we treat any other city committee, is the way I understand it. Is that correct?
Just a point of information, Mayor, would that be something like the P&D board? We don't give them computers or cell phones. Why?
So when you meet here, you have 5 that stay here, right? So we need it.
We have 7. 1, 2.
Okay, there's 7, all right.
Yeah.
I didn't know if they took those away. So we could use these if they had a way to open the jump drive, and that's what I got. We don't know until we get the people interested.
Well, we're not even talking about appointing them until December.
Right.
We're looking at that. If that all comes to effect, we get them appointed. Then there'll be some training, I assume, that goes on. So, but this is something, you brought it up, there could be a cost down the line here to make this all come to reality. Okay, good. Okay, anything else?
The only thing I'll say is what I've been saying the whole time. What did Woodrow Hay and Buck Buchanan do wrong? They were qualified, they were knowledgeable, they had the expertise, and they're taken off as good citizens for some mystical reason.
Mayor, point of information, once again, Mr. Hay, Mr. Buchanan did nothing wrong. They're 2 outstanding gentlemen, and it was a pleasure serving with them.
That's why you got rid of them. Very logical. Very logical.
Under item B, consideration of reimbursing White Elk Enterprises LLC as property owner of Healing Heart for fiscal year 2013-14 interior build-out grant funds under the terms of the 2015-16 interior build-out grant.
This is simply a request by me. White Elk, and I don't know if you know, that's the name of the owner of the property for Healing Heart on Boynton Beach Boulevard that came out beautiful. She took 2 old houses and joined them together into a veterinary complex, built a pool for your dogs to swim in and maybe your horse, I don't know. And she basically, under the old rules when she applied, we required them to submit the number of jobs quarterly, and then we would reimburse them quarterly for the build-out. Now, however, we're asking, can we reimburse her under the current rules, the current adopted rules, which say when the work is completed and they get a certificate of completion, that we just pay, reimburse them their share of it. That's all we're asking.
Question is for the director. I asked in our private meeting, I don't know if you got it back to me, but what was the total amount for the build out for the public?
Teresa, do you know what the cost of the project was? Not total yet, but over 500? No. Okay.
Wait, under $500?
500,000 for the
See, that's
entire
what
project?
I need to be hearing. I'm just saying because we're voting on something that I don't have a amount for.
You want to know what she's going to get? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, 22,500.
I don't have a problem with it then.
I have a question. Is this something we do, have we done this in the past for other businesses, reimburse them totally?
Well, this one went longer than we had anticipated. So, and I will tell you that we aren't doing it this way anymore, where you're reimbursing it over 4 quarters, because the impact on staff for the bookkeeping part of it was very onerous. So we did change the rules. The rules have changed. So what we're saying is, rather than have this last one linger through where it's going through the old process of being reimbursed quarterly, let's just reimburse her under the current rules that we have, since she's complete now in this time frame.
But this is not something we've done, this is not something...
No.
So this is new to me anyway.
Yeah. Yes, it's new, but the program has changed to be the way we're saying it now, a lump sum.
So what kind of grandfather in, or?
Yeah, well, we're it's sort of the opposite of grandfather.
Right?
Yeah, we're grandmothering her. I don't know.
This is in the parameters of the money that we normally give for this?
It's the same amount. She won't get any different amount. But rather than having to give us a quarterly, how many employees she has, we know how many employees are there. It's a pretty large operation. And just, it's more of a bookkeeping, housekeeping item for staff, saying, you know what, she's done, she invested up to $500,000, and we're only reimbursing her $22,500. So I think we're safe on our, giving her the money.
Fitzpatrick?
I have a motion then.
Go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion, we pay the interior build-out grant to White Elk Enterprise using the current procedures.
Second.
Second. Any other discussion? Does that do what you were trying to do?
Yes.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? So the motion unanimous. Executive Director's report, new business in the CRA district.
We have
There's a list in the back up there.
Yes, we have 4 new businesses. Cabinetry manufacturer, window treatment blinds, Wells Fargo Advisors, and the UPS factory. So that's great news.
Good.
I have a question for the director in regards to Yachtman Plaza. How are we doing with people coming in?
He's got to, in order for a business to go in there and get a BTR, business tax receipt license, he's got to clear up some liens he's got that were due to his not getting an approved site plan modification. So we had a long meeting with him, a bunch of staff people from the city and myself, and he didn't get approval for the landscape plan, so he's got to go through that process. So he's going through all that now, and to try to clear all that up so businesses can get a BTR in there. I think they did work out a way to get the dry cleaner in, at least to get his stuff in for storage. So, and maybe not be operational, but he could at least store his.
Actually, they didn't. I talked to the dry cleaner man, or somebody talked to him just a couple days ago, and turns out the contractor who was supposed to be doing the build out so they could move in there, he wasn't doing it. He said he wasn't getting paid, so he stopped. And the owner is saying, yeah, I did pay him. So, again, there's a delay here. The dry cleaner still is stuck in his old place and is going to get thrown out in the street. So if we can kind of bird dog that, it would be helpful, because it looks like there's some breakdown in communication here.
Yes, and it's the owner.
Yeah, I know he's hard to contact and hard to deal with, but
Yes.
we need to stay on top of him and get that thing moving.
Yes. he's the
Yes.
one making the payments on an expensive building
Yeah.
and not getting any revenue. It's
Right.
counterintuitive, but
So,
If I could just back up a little bit, I just want to be clear on this CRA advisory board. We didn't vote on that 125,000.
no,
That-
I
okay.
just discussed it.
Just discuss it. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anything else come before the board?
I did want to talk about some developer outreach and contacts I made. We've had very strong development interest on Town Square. I just had a 2-hour meeting with a new developer there today. I believe they will put in a proposal. And I've reached out to Guy Harvey Resorts. They are interested in downtown Boynton. They need a site, so I sent them some information, and I'm going to follow up with him on Thursday.
That's really exciting when I read it in the back up there, but this guy Harvey, boy, if we could ever get him to bring a hotel here, that would just be so
Yes.
tremendous with our marina project and all. That would be such
It
a
would be-
fit.
it's
And
a good
people-
fit.
He's so well known. That
And
would
they
be
know our
incredible.
area. The man I talked to, they're in Fort Lauderdale. They know our area very well. They said they would definitely, they think it's a great location. It's just finding a spot for them. And, you know, I told Bill Morris when I met with them on the Bank of America site about that, so.
Great. We have the Bank of America site. We have this site. We have a lot of
Coming.
options, so thank you. Anything else? If not, we stand adjourned.
Thank you.